Aloha, I'm Mililani Trask, a 1969 graduate of the Kamehameha Schools, a Hawaiian attorney, and Office of Hawaiian Affairs candidate for Hawaii Island. I'm running for OHA because I believe it's time for a change. OHA is a state agency with a trust obligation to better the condition of Native Hawaiians. Its $400 million trust corpus needs to be managed prudently and expended in a way that meets the critical needs of the Hawaiian people. OHA oversees many programs over a broad range of areas, but OHA needs now to reassess its priorities and honestly address the criticisms that emerged from the fiscal review performed in 2015. The review found that OHA spending has been consistently on the rise, and that if this practice continues, the OHA trust will be depleted in 10 years. It found that the current Board of Trustees had not been fiscally responsible and were not in compliance with their own fiscal policies. Most significantly, it found that hundreds of thousands of dollars have been withdrawn from the fiscal reserve and that trustees were guilty of, quote, impulse funding, end quote. OHA can't continue to be everything to everyone. Many of the trustees on the board voted for expenditures that didn't relate to our people's needs. For example, there's been extensive trustee and executive travel to international destinations for questionable purposes, such as attending the Cook Island Independence Celebration and flying to New Zealand for the Hokulea welcoming party. These perks need to be curtailed and priorities set that relate directly to beneficiary needs. In addition, OHA needs to work collectively with others to ensure that we're not duplicating services and to encourage other funding sources to participate in addressing our people's needs. For example, in the area of health, OHA should be working with Keola Mamo, the Queen's Hospital, the John A. Burns School of Medicine, and the Hawaiian Healthcare Clinics. Hawaiians have the poorest health statistics in the state, and much of our problems relate to diet and exercise. OHA can and should be leading the community efforts to initiate a statewide health and wellness program that encourages prevention. By living healthily and returning to the native diet, we can stop the spread of diabetes and hypertension. My two top goals are, number one, to bring accountability and transparency back to OHA by requiring that OHA trustees and staff undergo training in state and county regulations relating to the Sunshine Law, the ethics regulations, and trust principles, including their own fiduciary responsibilities. OHA trustee and employee manuals should require mandatory annual training in these areas and should impose penalties for employees and trustees who violate these laws and regulations. My second goal is to move forward with a commitment for affordable housing. The Department of Hawaiian Homelands has a list of 21,000 Hawaiian families needing housing. All over the state, there are other families looking for affordable rental units and kupuna needing elderly housing. These folks are also beneficiaries of OHA. In all these years, OHA and Hawaiian Homelands have never been able to negotiate an MOU to facilitate a cooperative effort for affordable housing. This is a no-brainer. Hawaiian Homelands has land and is exempt from county regulations. OHA is the lead state agency for Hawaiians and has a significant trust. If OHA commits to stop its wastefulness and to work with Hawaiian Homelands and our state construction and labor unions, we can begin to address the housing needs of our people. Vote for Mililani Trask, Office of Hawaiian Affairs Trustee for Hawaii Island. Aloha, malama pono.